Now, we have a great opportunity for you tonight. We're going to go one-on-one with Kellyanne Conway, counselor to President Trump. And as I teased, my friend, tonight you will do something that I've never seen you do on television before.
This is a family show, you know.
Absolutely. My family is watching. My mother included. You know she likes you. But I don't care about that. This is the proposition. I don't get why this was a good deal for the Democrats to make. Why did the Democrats do the right thing today, in your opinion?
Because they did the wrong thing 3 days ago. They basically wasted 3 days worrying the heck out of parents who have children relying on the chip, 9 million vulnerable children relying on that for health care, military families worried if they would get their paycheck going forward. Lots of federal employees, some of whom my colleagues here at the White House, did nothing wrong except fall victim to a party, Christopher, that is moving so far to the left in the interest of mollifying its base. It shut down the government on Friday, and 3 days later couldn't see anything that was different. The only thing that changed from Friday to today is the number of Democrats who went from no to yes. Not a single Republican went from no to yes. What they got was the ire of their base. I really feel like in the span of a month, the Democrats have made two grievous errors. They voted against the tax cuts last month that have spurred billions of dollars from millions of people through pay raises, through bonuses, through investments, 20,000 new jobs just from Apple. Look at all the capital investments our job creators are saying. So they're on the wrong side. They voted against tax cuts, and now they voted for shutting down the government. These are just grievous errors, and they got nothing.
Today. What did they get for it? What did they get? A deal. Usually both sides get something. What do you think they got?
They did the right thing by not playing politics with people's lives.
But what did they
get?
By
reversing course. What they got was the ire of their base. They got, I think that Senator
the ire of their base. They wouldn't have made the deal.
Yes, they did. The ire of their base, and I think I said everything that we've all been saying all weekend came true. I was on CNN, I was on your network 2 nights ago, standing right here with your colleague, Erin Burnett, and I talked about how the people who are auditioning for 2020 are shutting down the government, how they're trying to mollify the base. And what happened is, and I said that night too, that with the 4 or 5 Democrats peeling off from Chuck Schumer's crazy idea to shut down the government that night, that was a sign of things to come. And today, many more Democrats follow their lead. You know what happened here? People rushed the hill. The Democrats rushed the hill. And as they were climbing up the hill, some said, this is not the hill I want to die on. What are we doing? If I gave them a pen and I said, here's the CR, please underline in this what you Democrats disagree with, it would have come back blank. There was no one thing that they disagreed with.
Nancy Pelosi has a whole list. All right, so let me counter a few of these things.
No, please answer the question then. What did they disagree with? They don't disagree with CHIP, they say.
Well, Pelosi said you didn't have the community health centers in there. CHIP, you guys took CHIP. So all you did was give it back. They didn't get more. You're saying you saved these kids and their health insurance? You took it from them.
Right, because they scared. No, excuse me. They spent a weekend scaring them. And here's another thing they did. The Democrats, ironically, wasted the weekend on the Dreamers. They didn't help them.
One thing at a time.
No.
You guys pulled CHIP. If you cared about CHIP, you would have done something about it 4 months ago. You did nothing. You played with this, and the Democrats said, oh, thank you for giving it back to us. That's the deal you got today. Bravo for you. I don't know why they made the deal.
That's not what a government shutdown is about.
Come on, Bill of Love.
I know it's a very difficult night for Democrats. I get it. Because even these headlines are really taking the Democrats and his leadership to task. I'm with Delaware Senator Chris Coons on this. He's a Democrat of Delaware, and he actually holds Joe Biden's old Senate seat in Delaware. And tonight he made very clear that he's worried that the people who are running in 2020 aren't running as problem solvers, that they're drifting further and farther to the left. That is out of touch with mainstream America. I agree with him.
Which is moving farther and farther to the right, if we listen to the White House. The irony that you accuse the Democrats of playing their base to their base. What else have you guys been doing? Why are you treating immigrants like they're monsters? That's coming from your base.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there. This president.
No, let me tell you something. I bought property in this place.
Let me tell you something. This president sat there for an hour with Dick Durbin directly to his right for an hour on camera and told the world, including CNN, who covered it live and I think completely, Chris, he told the world that he's willing to negotiate a resolution on DACA. Why? Because the Congress has failed to. They had 9 months, and now he gave them 6 more. President Obama, as you know, put in an illegal executive order. He never went to the Congress.
We don't know that it was illegal. It never made it all the way through the courts.
This president is trying to fix that. But this president has also said...
He's not trying to fix it. He ended it. He ended it. He ended it with a date certain. He said he cared about the dreamers. Hold on, Kellyanne. Hold on.
I can understand why the Democrats like you were mad tonight, but once in a while say today was a terrible day for the away team.
I'm only mad because you're not letting me ask you the next question.
No. You're trying to ask it and answer it. So which role is whom?
Well, no, here it is. Which role is whom?
I'll answer.
What is that? Is that Trump English? We each have a role to play here.
Are you making fun of the President of the United States again? The guy is working and living right behind me because he got elected by the people. And part of that was because he insists on making this country more secure, including at its border.
A big part of it, thank you.
He wants a sovereign nation to have physical borders.
Thank you for that.
And the Democrats
Let's
did
talk
not
about
want any border security. He wants border security. He wants that wall. He's not going to compromise on that. Why should he?
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
He said he'll resolve the DACA issue. He'll resolve the DACA recipients issue, but he also wants an end to chain migration and to be
okay. Now hold on one second.
All right, you can't be more clear than this guy.
Let's go through
He hears immigration. Wait a second. We hear the word immigration.
Are you worried that if I say something, it will be disruptive?
No, you can. It's your show. You can talk all you want. But just a second. Let me finish, please.
Okay.
When the president talks about immigration, he talks about at least 4 principles for immigration. He has said it again and again. Those of us who speak on his behalf have said it again and again. He cannot be more clear on it. He also has a 70-point plan. When the Democrats hear the word immigration, they only hear DACA. They only hear Dreamers. Why is that?
This is the man who talked about immigration in one way and one way only for the duration of the campaign.
Oh, you want to go back to the campaign? Because we don't do that on CNN, remember? You don't want me to mention the woman whose name we don't say anymore, right?
Campaigning on immigration. You have to listen to yourself. When you speak, you must also listen to what you're saying.
Border security.
That's right. He said, I'm going to build the wall because these are monsters who are coming in here. They're bad people. They're murderers and rapists.
Hey, Chris, are you okay with all the drugs coming in this country?
That's what he said.
You got 3 kids, I have 4. Are you okay with that? I'm asking you a question now. We're not in a campaign.
Said. Look, I could talk about drug policy all day with you and poke so many huge holes in the idea that a wall is going to make a big difference on the drug trafficking.
No, there's no poison coming over the southern border, right?
That's what you said.
We don't have heroin coming through the southern border.
They're coming in aircraft,
and they're coming in through this country, right? 20,000 deaths last year from fentanyl alone. That doesn't bother you?
More than anywhere else. You want to talk about the deaths, they matter. We're talking about the rationale for the supply, which you're dead wrong about, and you're using to advance a narrative that if you just put up a wall, everything's fine.
I'm not going to let you do that.
Hold on.
I know today was a big loss, a big kick in the gut, because we traded in the Russia graphics for the shutdown graphics.
I hear you.
And now that's done.
Well, hold on. Okay. So.
I'm holding.
Point by point. The president campaigned on fear about immigrants and a big wall. You say he has never changed on the wall, and he won't. That's good to know, because that's not what John Kelly says, and that's not what his surrogates say. The surrogates, his different allies in Congress, they all say, oh, he always meant the wall as a metaphor. You came on the show the last time and said he met with experts, and now he knows that rivers are involved and their geographic concerns.
No.
Like he never looked at a map before.
No, that is not what I said. That's what you're saying, because you like to demean and disparage the office of the president.
Verbatim. Absolutely not. Unfair shot, but I'll let it go because it's nice to see you.
It's 2,000, but there's 800. Go ahead, then I'll talk.
Chip. If you cared about it, you would have done something 4 months ago. You did nothing. DACA, if he wanted a bill of love, he would never have attached anything to a DACA bill.
Okay, let's have a civics lesson. If you care about
the dreamers, you do a clean bill on that. You don't attach other security concerns. And by the way, you say the Democrats don't care about security? I'm 180 degrees from you. I don't know why they were willing to give in on the wall. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense. The people who are down there say they don't want one, but they were going to give him one. So not only were they going to give him one, okay, but it's something that doesn't make sense for them. And as far as caring about security, what you're asking for now...
I don't even hear a question in there. There's not possibly a question mark coming on.
But I have to correct the record. I have to,
Kellyanne. There's not even a semicolon, let alone a question mark.
I have to correct the record.
How about we go to break and you talk?
What you guys are asking for now is security, is what the Democrats agreed to with the Gang of Eight.
Is this a question?
But
is this a question?
Do you? Okay, here, I'll ask it this way.
It about 10 sentences
do you know that what you're asking for and calling security now is what the Gang of Eight had agreed on years ago?
Chris.
Yes?
This president wants border security. Why? Because he has actually
He said he wanted a big new wall.
Excuse me. We know what the ICE agents
that Mexico would pay for.
And respectfully, you telling me that the men and women at the border have told you, and not the president, and not Secretary Nielsen, and not then Secretary and now Chief John Kelly, is laughable. Those guys and gals who put their lives on the line every single day.
You're telling me that the border security people told any of those people that a wall solves their problems?
They want, well, guess what? Their problems were completely neglected. They were ignored.
No. Answer my question.
To their death.
Is that what they said?
I am answering your question. We inherited
so it's a yes/no question.
Mess at the wall, at the border and elsewhere.
Did they say a wall is the answer?
They have said, some of them have, of course. They've said they need a real border.
What was the consensus?
They need a real border. And they also are happy that this president's immigration plan includes 10,000 new ICE agents. Let's hope that the Democrats don't
It has nothing to do with a wall.
To zero,
nobody ever said they don't need more manpower.
You just said that they don't need. Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
When did I say that?
Everything's not fine at the border.
Does this work?
Everything's not fine
at the border. When did I say that? I said that none of them say a wall is a panacea.
That's not true.
I've been with them.
It's not true that none of them say it.
I've been with them.
Okay, Christopher, so you took a trip to the border. I think that's lovely. You wore khakis that day and took a trip to the border, and the rest of your life you spend in Manhattan. Stop it. These are honorable people at the border fighting every day for your freedom and your safety. Cut it out. I don't want the poison coming over the border and into my community.
Kellyanne,
do you?
Kellyanne, if you think that you're going to distract, if you think you're going to distract by telling me that I'm some type of urbane guy who doesn't care about Border Patrol agents, that's silly. We both know
I figured if I made it about you, you'd at least stop talking for a second, and you did.
I'll tell you what, I'll send you a transcript of this when we're done with the interview, and I guarantee you're 3-to-1 words over me. 3-to-1. You know how I know that? Because I've looked at all the transcripts, and you're always at least 3-to-1 over me.
Okay, that's good. I'm the guest. I'm supposed to talk.
Well, but then you can't have it both ways. See, that's the problem. You want it both ways. He cares about the dreamers.
I'm just reading.
He cares about the dreamers, but he's going to attach things and not give them a clean bill, and he's going to put out an ad saying that they're all monsters who are terrorists. Okay. And then the White House says, it's not us. Is that true, Kellyanne?
Where is the bill? Okay,
he signed it. It's no longer a bill.
No. I know that. I'm very excited. He signed it minutes before I walked out here. We just all got the text messages from the OMB that we're able to, our colleagues are able to go back to work tomorrow. I think that's wonderful for people who have been white-knuckled all weekend, wondering when the Democrats were going to grow up, reopen the government so we can reopen negotiations on what they say they care about, DACA. But hold on. I am not going to let it lie that a sovereign nation like ours doesn't deserve to have a physical border. We have spent billions over decades protecting other nations' sovereign borders.
We do have a physical border.
No, we don't. It is porous, and the idea that we have a catch and release law where we catch someone who's coming over illegally and they get released into the interior of the United States, we can't do anything with them.
What are you talking about?
Wait, do you understand? Do you understand that we are trying?
What circumstances does somebody catch someone crossing the border illegally and then let them go?
Many, they can't detain them after a while. There are many
circumstances.
What do you
mean after a while? What are you talking about?
How many of Donald Trump's 70 points in his immigration plan have you read or do you know?
Zero. You never sent it to me.
Because Democrats, it's posted for all to see. The president announced it about 2 months ago.
If he has a 70-point plan, why did Mitch McConnell say he doesn't know where he is on immigration?
It's merit-based.
Why did Mitch McConnell say he doesn't know where he is?
Christopher, I think Mitch McConnell did a great job today holding his
Then answer my question. Why does he say he doesn't know where the president is?
All weekend.
Then why does he say he doesn't know where the president is?
I know this is very disappointing to many people who thought they could talk about a shutdown, have that shutdown day.
Why does Mitch McConnell say he doesn't know where the president is?
But look what we didn't do. We didn't weaponize the shutdown because we weren't in charge of it. The Democrats did it.
Well, it didn't work so well for you last time in 2013. This time, it's the first shutdown we've ever had with one party in control of both houses of Congress and the White House because you weren't able to work with the other side.
The problem with Christopher, they started the shutdown. They had to end it. What were we supposed to work with them and help them shut down the government?
They're a minority in the Senate. You should have worked with them. You should have figured it out. The leadership wasn't doing that. They didn't reach out.
Chris, work with them to do what? We need 9 of their votes. We need 9 of their votes. You know what they should have done on Friday night? They should have given us 9 and not 5. Friday or Saturday night, they should have given us 9 votes.
You should have offered them something.
Now they showed why they're in the minority. We saw once and for all tonight. They're going to kill themselves in the midterms now. You have the split screen of voting no.
Let's talk about that. Let's take a break and we'll talk about what this means. We'll talk about the next step. Let's take a quick break, please. I'll take that as a yes. Silence as... All right, we're back. We have Counselor to the President, Kellyanne Conway. Always good to have you. You have green on. Before we get back into it, I must say, congratulations on the Eagles. I know you were there last night. We were texting while you were watching the game. I wish you good luck in the Super Bowl. You will win, I believe you think, yes?
Thank you. Yes, we will.
You're down 5 points. I think maybe 5.5.
You know me, I love underdogs. We carried Pennsylvania, not Massachusetts, I'll just say. But I love underdogs.
You're saying the underdogs are... Trump
I don't mention
is like
the other
Eagles?
person's name, remember? The most touching aspects of the game last night were certainly the national anthem. Everybody should pull it up and watch how beautifully it was done, and the brave men and women who were there, a full field of a flag. And the only time people were taking a knee of note was when the Eagles were kicking off after they would score and the Vikings were taking it in the end zone. But I will tell you, because people recognize me, they'll say, tell Donald Trump, tell the president I love my tax cut, tell him keep doing what he's doing, But the most touching ones are when the soldiers' parents come up to me and say, thank you so much. My son is in Afghanistan. Randy and Linda, sitting right behind me yesterday, said that. And Mike and Linda, said it yesterday. And people come up and they say, thank you so much, because we feel like you back the blue. You're there for the veterans, the soldiers. And I appreciate it. They say it to me because they're saying it to the president. And I appreciate that most. But go Birds.
Good. Good luck to you going into the game. Now, let's discuss some of this stuff that happens going forward, okay? The Democrats got a deal to make a deal, right? McConnell said, yes, it's my intention. We'll debate until February 8th, and then hopefully they'll put some bill on the floor for an up or down vote. That's the promise. But in terms of heading into it, I do not see a basis for a bill of love. That ad the president put out from the White House about how these are monsters coming across and terrorists, which is...
That's not from the White House.
It's, at the end of it, it says this message is approved by Donald J. Trump.
That's a campaign ad.
But it's coming from the president, right?
It's coming from the campaign.
And he's in the White House, right? So it's all the same when you're in office.
He's in the White House because he ran on tough borders and he ran on
it's true. And
fair trade.
And he demonized immigrants
and improving the prosperity.
So,
and I know the one thing you never talk about on your show is how booming the economy is, because
last time I
talked about it, he said, yeah, I know.
No,
but
I talk about it all the time. It is ironic that our president, who used to say to me personally, why do you talk about Wall Street? Why do you talk about that? That's not Main Street. That's not where real people are. They're not invested in the stock market. Why do you let these guys get over on you like that? Now he embraces it. Why? Because it's good for him right now, right? If it goes down, whose fault will it be?
No, because it's a historically high 26,000, because you see the job creators responding to the Trump tax cut.
Let's see when they create jobs.
Even Whirlpool today, after the president made
and bonuses
a change
booked for 2017 are not compelling to me. They are trying to lock in tax savings for their bonuses.
$2,000. Hey, Chris, respectfully, because you and I don't need the $2,000. It makes a huge difference. Would have made a huge difference to my single mom growing up who put clothes on layaway.
Kellyanne, the bonuses were booked in 2017. No, it doesn't work like that. The bonuses were booked in 2017 because it's better for corporations to do that. It's a different tax environment. New jobs, we'll see.
That's a very cynical way of looking at it.
But we do know this. You got less than half of this country is invested in the stock market. They're not celebrating the way you guys are.
Christopher, a lot of Americans are celebrating. I hear it all the time from them, even people who didn't vote for the president. We don't run around and saying, hey, did you vote for him? Here's your tax cut. It helps so many people who don't even care about politics. This is to stimulate the economy, and this is to give the hardworking men and women of the country.
It is way too soon to
We've
tell.
already seen what it does.
No way.
I'm telling you, the Democrats are on the wrong side. I think those red state Democrats who peeled away starting on Saturday.
You tell that to the middle-class families that are mad at the Democrats. For not fighting for them more in that bill.
Let Senator McCaskill tell the people of Missouri. Let Senator Donnelly tell the people of Indiana why the job creators, the job holders, the job seekers there didn't deserve this tax cut that they're getting anyway.
The first
even
two
though
got it. The third got shafted. The job seekers got less than 25% of the benefits under this plan.
So that doesn't matter, right?
3/4 of it goes to the top.
So
no, but you said it was a middle-class tax cut, which was just patently
25?
untrue.
No, it's
Zero
not
is the alternative? That was the alternative? Zero?
No, that's what they've been getting. Do you, Christopher, if you're talking about zero benefit, they haven't gotten a tax cut, definitely not in the last 8 years.
You said it was a middle-class tax cut. They got 25% of the benefit. They're supposed to be happy? Sounds like letting me cake.
Oh, Chris, come on. The tax brackets went down for everybody. The standard deduction doubled. Don't do that. There are more Americans paying 0% in taxes this year than before. There are people paying lower bracket percentages, and if you have the child care tax deduction, it got doubled.
All right,
and
so
$1,600 of it is permanent. I mean, don't do that.
Look, the facts of the tax plan are plain for anybody. They just have to Google the analysis, and they'll hear the numbers that I just reported to them.
Let's Google the analysis, right? Let's not look at economic reports.
They're going to take it from you? You know, you represent the White House. But on immigration, hold on a second. Immigration is what's on next. They just got a promise from McConnell. Do you believe that the president will do anything for the Dreamers if the wall is not attached to it?
The president has said, he's answered that question many times. He has said, no DACA without the wall. He has said he's not giving up on the wall. Senator Schumer, for whatever reason, said that he had offered all the money for the wall. That's just not true.
He did, but he did it over 10 years.
That was unappropriated in a budget for year one, $1.68 billion.
Right.
That's
over 10 years.
Right, over 10 years. So that was not true. Coming out of here and saying I offered him all the money for the wall for year one. That is not all the money for. What are you supposed to just stop constructing and saying, isn't it so pretty? We'll come back some other time. That's not how Trump projects work, as you know. They come in under budget and on time. And they're beautiful when they're finished.
This from the person who used to say that Trump made his money on the backs of the little people. Now you're touting him as a great deal maker and a businessman.
I've always touted him as a great deal maker and a great businessman. And in fact, I lived in one of his buildings, sat on his condo board. But more importantly, I grew up outside of Atlantic City, 40 miles outside of Atlantic City. And when Trump and others put their casinos there, it revolutionized the local economy. Many people in my life, including my own mother, got a job in those casinos. She didn't work in a Trump casino. They got a job. That helped stimulate the economy for folks, for working class and working.
Too bad he couldn't keep them running.
Well, right, Chris, because I know that's what you want to talk about tonight.
Did they go bankrupt or no?
This is a blue book.
That part doesn't count?
I don't know. Christopher, I want to ask you one question. You said before you went to the break, you looked at me and you said, silence is acceptance.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I took it. Yeah, you remember that in contract law? You know,
no, there
was an implicit promise that if you had said no, you don't want to stay for the next break,
I think in
then
this
I had
climate,
it. But when I said, will you stay,
that.
and you didn't say anything, silence equals acceptance.
No,
but what
I
is
think
the
in this
context?
Climate, nobody wants to say that.
Say what?
Silence is acceptance.
What are you talking about?
I think the people who were marching on Saturday would disagree.
Oh, the Women's March. The one where the president was tweeting that all the people are out there marching to say how great he's done?
No, how great the economy is. We have the lowest unemployment rate for women in 17 years.
You know that's not why they were marching. Isn't that insulting to all those women out there who are looking for leadership and looking for someone to get behind them? And instead he makes a joke out of their march?
Whoa. It's no joke that the women's unemployment rate is the lowest in 17 years. It is no joke that over 500,000 new women entered the workforce on his watch.
And it's no joke that they don't get equal pay. And women like you have been forced to do it twice as hard as men to get to the same place.
And
it's not right. And you know it, and I know it. And you guys are in a position to do something about it. And instead, he's tweeting, you know, a little tongue-in-cheek about it. Why? Why wasn't he out there?
Chris, I'm sorry. Wait a second. Women didn't get equal pay after 8 years of President Obama. Millions of women are in poverty.
I thought he was going to do better. I thought he cherished women.
No, he is doing better. But we've been here for 1 year as opposed to the 8 years that we inherited. But don't do that. Don't say that women are better off after 8 years, where this president
I just said the
is
opposite.
Trying to make that better.
I said they're not upset. I said they're not better off. They're not getting equal pay. They deserve better, not jokes about why they're out there marching. These are very serious issues. We know we can't talk about one of the major reasons that they're out there marching. You can't even talk about that.
But I didn't hear a lot of Democrats talking about this weekend when they shut down the government. You know what the Democrats could have done?
What?
Since they had a hissy fit, they shut down the government, and 3 days later they opened the government, and nothing had changed, except they got over the fit.
I agree with you on that.
What they could have done,
I agree with you 100%.
What they could have done is don't bother shutting down the government, and then take the weekend to talk about all the issues you want to talk to. DACA.
They weren't getting anywhere with you guys. If they wanted to shut it down, they should have done it on principle, and they should have stayed in it until they got something that matters to people. That's what they should have done.
Running in 2020 is not a principle. The people running in 2020 who voted
no to reopen the...
No, well, they think it's tomorrow.
It's a long way away.
Are you comfortable with the way Democrats are running for 2020 right now, voting
no to
reopen the government?
My business is to scrutinize it, and they're going to get plenty of that for this deal.
Harassing and bullying Secretary Nielsen last week. That didn't make you uncomfortable at all.
Please, she remembered what Lindsey Graham said, but she didn't remember as an echo of what the president said. But she didn't remember that. She didn't know whether Norway is majority white country, and she's in charge of keeping us safe, and she didn't know that. Come on. And then you guys come out and say that he was mansplaining? So what? He shouldn't speak to a female secretary the way he does to a male secretary? Come on.
Well, we all know the way the women of the Trump White House and the administration are talked to and talked about, including daily on CNN and by people on CNN. But you know what, Chris?
What are you talking about? Let me ask you one other thing.
Would you like? I'm sorry. I know you probably would hope for your daughters to have my opportunities or my accomplishments, but could you really tell me you'd like your daughters to be treated the way I am, the way Secretary Nielsen is, the way Sarah Sanders is?
I don't think it's because you're women. And when people do say things about you that are insensitive and they're targeted at you because you're a woman, I shout them down. I shouted it down by Sarah Sanders when they made fun of her on SNL for the way she looked. I said it was wrong. We keep it straight. Don't lump me in with everybody else. Let me ask you a question. Is it true that Jeff Sessions went to the head of the FBI, appointed by you guys, Christopher Wray, and said, get rid of Andrew McCabe. And when he refused and said, I'll leave, then you backed off. Is that true?
I am certainly not discussing what Attorney General Sessions and Director Wray discussed on the job. I would have no direct knowledge of that.
You have no direct knowledge of what I'm saying, or you don't want to talk about it? Which is it?
No, I have no direct knowledge of what you're saying. Because
do you think that would be right to do that, by the way?
To do what?
To go to Wray and say, the president doesn't like this guy, McCabe, get rid of him.
I don't think that's what Attorney General Sessions would say, that somebody doesn't like someone. That's not the basis here. Christopher, are you disturbed? That aside, are you disturbed at all at everything that's being revealed by some in the FBI? Not the rank and file, the 25,000 or so men and women who do a great job, but the people who were in charge of the investigation.
At least you're drawing that distinction now, better than the president did the first 3 rounds of attacking the Justice Department.
That's not fair. He went to Quantico and honored them. That's just not fair.
Yeah, I know. And then he said that they were part of a conspiracy against him, and they've been bringing false allegation after false allegation.
The people, not the FBI, the texting, excuse me. The people who were texting, the people who were in charge of investigation wanted the, quote, insurance policy just in case Hillary Clinton, their preferred candidate, didn't win.
I say the same thing. You think the FBI preferred Hillary Clinton after what they did to her with the email stuff?
No, I don't think we could talk about the FBI.
She used to make the same complaints as you guys now.
Absolutely not.
It's like Groundhog Day.
We're talking about a few bad apples who were doing things they shouldn't have done, and it's good. I think that you like transparency and accountability.
Well, if it's just a few bad apples, that's good to hear. Tell the president to stop bashing the entire justice community.
He doesn't. He doesn't
bash
the Justice Department.
Numerous times, and you know it. He shouldn't, but he
doesn't.
All right, let's end it there. Kellyanne Conway, always a pleasure. Good luck to your Eagles. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you. Take care, Christopher.
Breaking tonight, President Trump did sign the short-term deal, bringing the government shutdown to an end.